Who is the most annoying person on Twitch? Some would say Pokimane.
Sing it! Swear to God, sing it! Sing it!
Some would say it's XQC.
I believe none of that. Hey, the game government and no getting one in the sample, no give my 3D.
But I would like to present a new queen, a shining new example in being insufferable and talentless. Introducing Casey Tron.
Wait.
She's a 32-year-old streamer who started out in a very similar way to Brittany Venti, where she would just kind of pretend to be dumb for views.
I'll lick your beehole. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You can see her as one of the earliest booby streamers, really. She would be super aggressive online as a girl gamer and demand that she was a real girl gamer to trick dumb guys into thinking like, well, she's not a real gamer, and then she would bait them by acting dumb.
1 in 5 ain't feeding.
No, I'm not fucking feeding. It's because you stole my fucking quadra-kill, which would have been a pentakill if I fucking had it.
She also wore a lot of low-cut shirts because she knew she would get attention for it. And she did. She got 500,000 followers out of it. She used to make a lot of videos baiting dudes by saying a lot of obviously really dumb shit.
I started gaming at a very young age. Whenever I was really young, I was probably about a baby. Sorry, I'm just trying to recall. I am not a fake girl gamer. I'm a real girl gamer. I've been gaming my whole life. I can actually name 10 games off the top of my head. 10 games. Zelda, Mario, Farmville, Sims, Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims Nightlife, Mario Kart, Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, Minesweeper, Mario Party, Mario Party 2.
And it worked. For a while at least. Her peak was about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and she now streams to an average of 420 people. Oh, did I mention she's an epic stoner? Yeah, man, smoke that za, bro. Yeah, it's so epic, dude. It's so funny, dude. Ooh, stoning.
It says that I display 3 of 11 symptoms of marijuana dependency. Having 2 of these 11 symptoms may indicate marijuana use disorder according to the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Unfortunately for her, once she dropped the act and started being herself, people came to the realization that Casey was actually dumber than anyone could have ever imagined. The real Casey was truly something special. She recently called out Asmongold for living a gross style as a millionaire, which I mean, he does. I don't think you can really deny that. I mean, the guy wiped his tooth blood on the wall instead of just standing up to not wipe it on the wall or brushing his teeth for once. Goddamn, Asmon. Times are tough.
And the dead rat was a problem. And whenever it would get really hot, it would like, the house would get hotter and it would like cook the corpse of the rat and it would make it smell worse. So like I would wake up every morning at like 7:30 or 8 a.m. Like, I was ready to fucking go because the first thing that happened is I'd smell that goddamn rat. You know, what the fuck? Yeah, this was, that's a natural alarm. Yeah, free alarm clock.
So Casey tweets out saying, Asmongold hates himself more than any of us ever could. Just look at the lifestyle he chooses to live as a multi-millionaire. There's nothing that could be said to that disgusting man that could ever make him change his filthy, hateful, putrid ways. Just a real stinker.
Just a real stinker.
Making fun of his lifestyle is funny because it is pretty fucking gross, but at the same time, there seems to be some genuine hatred for Asmongold. What's going on here, boys and girls? Time to investigate with my, my magnifying glass. I'm a detective. I've got Scooby-Doo with me.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
That was crazy.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
He does that when he gets nervous. Rory.
The reason she actually hates Asmongold is because she thinks he's a Republican. Because of this clip.
Exactly. You want a problem 90% of the time if you ain't black? Guys, the police officers do not pull over black people and arrest them. Like, just because they're black. This does not happen. Does it happen sometimes? Yes, it does. To say it happens all the time is ridiculous. It's a misrepresentation of what actually happens. It's deliberately disingenuous. It's harmful for the community. It doesn't help anybody. It's just a unnecessary exaggeration to make things more emotionally charged. This doesn't happen.
He's just too much of a pussy to admit it, so he masquerades around as a centrist while spewing Republican dog whistles 99% of the time. I mean, look, I don't know if there's any accurate statistics on this, and I'm sure even if there was and I brought them up, 1,000 people would dogpile me on either side saying, no, look at this statistic that I found. That's the real study, the real accurate one. But just because Asmon thinks this is true does not mean that he's a Republican. You don't have to be a Republican to hold this stance. And even if he is one, does that make him inherently evil or something? But of course, Asmon had to hit her with the, you're fat and you spend your life smoking weed and doing drugs. If anyone's a stinker, it's you.
Think you the shit, bitch? You not even the fault.
Hello, bozo.
Which is true on both counts, unfortunately. Look, Casey Tron, I love you so much, okay? I'm your biggest fan. I've been watching you since day one. However, maybe you should live a better lifestyle before you want to call out other people for their own. Asmongold's brand may be his disgusting, absolutely uninhabitable bedroom that's giving him cancer right now, but yours is being chubby and smoking weed, so you don't have a lot of room to talk. And everyone knows her brand is being that, by the way. Her friends just try to word it in like a nicer way where they're like, oh, it's just vibes, man.
Casey Tron, S tier. Queen. Casey Tron streamed like every day, I think, at like random hours. It'd be like 7 a.m. She'd be live on her phone in the yard doing like a dab, smoking weed. And that was it. That was it. She was vibing, okay? Pure vibes.
So Casey should really check herself before going after other streamers. Most live streamers have some weird maladaptive trait that makes them degenerate in some way. I mean, look, I dry scoop G Fuel, okay? I have problems too. But the stuttering weasel of Twitch enters the ring to deliver a stunning right hook. Mike Tyson is jealous. Money is financial freedom. Freedom is having the ability to choose what you want to do as much as possible. Why are you mad he lives the way he wants to? You have a lot of money too, yet you are overweight and choose to smoke weed all the time. Respect people's choices, lady. I mean, if you're a famous streamer who makes a bunch of money doing this for real, like, why would you choose to be overweight at that point? Like, take 1 hour out of your busy schedule to go on a run or something. It's not that hard, bro. And stop ordering Uber Eats at 3 a.m. every day when you're blasted off the ZA, okay? That will help too. Little bro lacks basic reading comprehension. I'm not mad that he lives the way he chooses to. I'm saying he hates himself for choosing to live that way. You want to talk about my drug addiction? Worry about your Adderall abuse. You could say the same about you, Casey. I mean, you have to hate yourself to be overweight. If you don't respect your body enough to take care of it, how can you be taken seriously when you call out other people for doing the same? You're just not the person to be giving out any kind of advice on pretty much anything. You got cooked. Opinion rejected.
Throw up the sex in her.
Just because you have an army of 12-year-olds doesn't make you any less of a moron. Heart. If I took 200 milligrams of Adderall a day, I'd be a walking crackhead skeleton just like you, hun. I mean, I'm not saying that Adderall is good, but at least he's not fat. And then, of course, she has to play the victim with the whole army of 12-year-olds thing, because she can't accept that there are real people who think that she's stupid. They all have to be children. There has to be some reason why their opinion is basically invalidated, right? But the real reason why they hate her take is that, once again, she's just not in a position to be giving out any kind of advice regarding anything like this. Whether it's about drug use or having a messy home. Have you guys seen what the average stoner's house looks like? There's more bodies between the doorway and the bedroom than on the Gaza Strip right now, okay? It's dark out here, okay? Guys, get a grip. Come on. Just sweep them up. Sweep up the bodies. Get a Roomba, for God's sake. But she sensed she was losing the fight here, so she decided to, she decided to like a tweet, which is basically saying that Asmongold's messy room is the reason that his mom died.
Yes, I did like that tweet. It says, thankfully, XQC's lifestyle hasn't led directly to the death of one of his parents yet, so he has that going for him over Asmon at least. I'll admit, I did like that tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions. I'm sorry. Like, you're a millionaire. You have all of the resources in the world. Why is your sick mother living like that? Like, I'll say it. I don't care. If that makes me a bad person, I'm still miles above of Asmongold. Miles above Asmongold. I'm sorry. Like, I have literally a fraction of the income, and I take better care of my parents than that. And I don't have anywhere near close the resources that he...
This doesn't really offend me. It doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't really offend me is because I know that she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't really know what she's saying. She's just saying this because I have said something to be mean to her. This does not hurt my feelings. This doesn't, you know, like, get me upset. It's malicious, though. It is malicious. She's a disgusting person, and she always will be.
I mean, realistically, Casey Tron knows nothing about the situation. She doesn't know Asmon's mom. She doesn't know what's going on there. She can't make a judgment on her health being worse or circumstances around her death. Like, there's just no reason to even make a comment like that. But ultimately, the reason she liked that tweet and the reason she backed up that opinion after the fact is because, once again, she's mad. She's mad about the fact that she's wrong. She's mad about the fact that she's not in a position to be giving anyone advice. And as a result, she's like, Asmongold, you made your mother die, which is just fucking untrue. And there's nothing to suggest that that's the case. Maybe if Casey Tron's parents had taken better care of her, she wouldn't be, big chungus, big chungus, big chungus. This other guy I've never heard of named Destiny, is that a girl's name? Kind of owned Casey here with a picture of her. And in response, she decided to do the tried and true formula of calling him a pedo. I cannot seem to shake this pedo. He has been obsessed with me ever since I was too busy to meet his creepy ass in 2015. I've blocked him on every platform, but he still desperately tries to get my attention. What do I do? You publicly tweeted. What do you expect? Did you expect that a streamer that talks about drama wouldn't publicly respond? This is what happens when you make a public statement. People fucking talk about it. This is like when somebody like shit talks like a large public figure, and then when the public figure responds, they get blocked by that person. This happens to me all the time, and it's like why even make the statement if you're gonna get shit on for it? What did you expect was gonna happen when you post about me on the same website that I post pictures of Big Chungus? The real Big Chungus, not this poser. It's the circle of life. Not XQC and Asmongold both calling me fat today. Damn, I wonder why they would do that. It's truly perplexing. In normal Republican grifter fashion, Asmongold is now lying about being canceled for attention from brain-dead Republican troglodytes. These men are such pathetic perpetual victims. It's just a YouTube title. It's called The Art of Clickbait. Everyone who is successful does it. Not that you would know anything about that, Casey. And evidently it didn't really matter because the video has 700,000 views. Like, you realize for a video to get that many views, generally people have to watch it, so there's good watch time and it will get recommended in the fucking algorithm. This doesn't just happen. It's not just clickbait. In Republican grifters, his audience is a bunch of gamers. His audience is like Baldur's Gate fans and people who like World of Warcraft, okay? This is hardly the most chuddy fan base of people on the internet. And she calls him a Republican grifter. I mean, grifter is a pretty big claim. There's definitely some people I would call a grifter, but it's used sparingly. It would mean that Asmon is lying about his beliefs for money. What belief do you think he's lying about? She never explains herself, obviously, because why would she? I mean, being right-wing in the independent content creation space isn't exactly rewarded these days with a bunch of social credit score points, so even if he was a grifter, I don't think choosing the right wing would really be the best course of action, unless he gets hired by the Daily Wire anytime soon. In my opinion, Casey doesn't actually think that Asmon is a grifter. It's just a word she throws around for Twitter likes, because that's the only place she gets attention anymore. Twitter. Nobody watches her. And if you actually take some time to listen to what Asmongold has to say, he has some pretty nuanced takes. He believes blocking the streets and protest is a bad idea.
They're trying to get to work. They can't get to work. They can't live their life. Why the fuck would they have any empathy for you? It doesn't even make sense. I have no problem with people protesting.
But he also believes that Israel is more in the wrong than Palestine.
If I had to say which group I think is more wrong, I think Israel's more wrong. I'm more pro-Palestine than pro-Israel. That doesn't mean that Palestine hasn't done anything wrong, but I am. I just don't think you should stand in the road.
To call him a Republican grifter when he's seemingly just trying to give the best and most accurate take regardless of partisan alliance is pretty dumb. He's not exactly pandering to mainstream Republicans when he says Israel is more in the wrong. But according to Asmongold, the real reason that Casey Tron hated him back in the day and has kind of hated him ever since is because his girlfriend at the time had bigger tits than her and then got more popular than her for being a booby streamer.
Back whenever Casey Tron was not a completely irrelevant streamer, and she was using her cleavage on stream to attract views. This was in probably about 10 years ago. Guess what happened? Well, my ex-girlfriend Izzy, Pink Sparkles, came on and everybody started watching her instead. Now, why did everybody start watching Pink Sparkles instead of Casey Tron? I think everybody knows why. So Casey Tron talked mad shit about Izzy constantly, perpetuated a lie that she was a view botter, and wouldn't back down on it for years until finally she got confronted recently and apologized in DMs to it to Izzy. This was 2 years ago.
Being called a terrible person by hordes of Destiny, Asmongold, and XQC fans is such a fucking joke. Do you people realize who you stan? Y'all and these dumpster men you fangirl over collectively make the internet unbearable for anyone who isn't an entitled white man. You're literally a live streamer for a living. What do you mean unbearable? You are a fucking professional streamer who barely has to work, who spends your time sitting on your ass all day, getting high out of your mind, which you could do at almost no other job because it's impossible to function, and you spend all of your time crying on Twitter about people more famous than you that used to talk to you and now never will because you suck. You're not exactly having a hard time. Not every streamer is a good person, and XQC and Destiny and Asmongold certainly have things you can criticize them for, just like with everyone else. Destiny definitely is not a file, and I don't know why she's saying that, but I assume it's because of those old clips of the crazy debates you would have back in the day. But there's certainly no convincing evidence that Destiny has ever had a sexual attraction to a child. But there are definitely things to criticize him for, just like with everyone else, that are legitimate complaints and not just slandering people on Twitter. But Casey Tron, I think her greatest crime is that she's a loser in the most literal sense. She got popular in the early 2010s with this one shtick, which was actually pretty funny for the time, and it baited a lot of people successfully. And ever since then, she has spent her days crying about the fact that she isn't famous anymore, numbing the pain with drugs, and casting judgment on other people for things that she is guilty of and worse. And now that her streams are apparently not making the money they used to because she only has 1,000 Twitch subs, which at the most equates to like a few $1,000s a month, maybe. She's trying to gain relevancy by shitting on her peers, and it's not out of principle, it's not because she thinks she's doing the right thing, it's envy and jealousy, and it's really sad. On another note, her best quality is her dance moves. Thanks for watching. I will see you all tomorrow.
Call upon me, gay men only, hairy chest, good ass, good pussy, gay only, hairy chest, good pussy.
I beg your pardon?
Gay only, hairy chest, good pussy.